What is poppin', people? You already know who it is. What If King back again with another lit What If. And today we're actually going to be starting a new What If on a completely new series that I have yet to do on this channel, surprisingly. Before we get into this What If, I have not posted in like a good 2 months. And honestly, the reason why I haven't been posting is pretty much just because of school. And I've just been absolutely lazy. The school that I'm going to currently, it's a self-paced school, and I started late at school, so I was like a year, behind where I was actually supposed to be. So this year I actually decided to do 2 years in one, which I have been doing. I've already completed 8th grade, and currently I'm trying to complete 9th grade before the start of the next school year, so I'll actually be, in the year that I'm supposed to be in. And yeah, so basically that's pretty much how it's been, why I've been, not posting, a lot. We did hit 300 subs, which I'm really happy about. I've decided my new goal is I'm gonna try to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And I think we can do it. I really do think that we can we can do this, because the channel is growing quick. So yeah, plus if I actually start posting on a regular basis, then it'll be really good. But yeah, so I'm really gonna start trying to do that, and whatnot. But yeah. So the new series that we're going to be doing is actually going to be a Naruto What If. And I got this idea from Nexus Sanin. I'm sorry if I butchered your name, but yeah, go check out his channel. He makes pretty good What Ifs. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. And the What If is going to be, what if the Namikaze clan had a Kekkei Genkai? Now, the name of Nexus Sanin's video that I got this idea from was What If Naruto Had a Namikaze Bloodline? So yeah, I changed up the name a little bit, and the ability that Naruto is gonna have is gonna be much different. So, yeah. Now, in this What If, Naruto, he's going to be pretty much almost the same as in canon. Except he's gonna be intelligent, very intelligent. He's still gonna be headstrong, and he's gonna be a complete battle freak. He's basically gonna be like Goku in Dragon Ball whenever, he wants to, wanting to fight strong opponents and whatnot. And he's gonna be really powerful. So, yeah, I'm not gonna explain to you what the Namikaze Kekkei Genkai is going to be, but I am going to sort of expand on the lore of the Namikaze clan, since we don't have, too much to go on from the Namikaze clan. So, I'm just gonna add my own kind of things to it, and that'll, give Naruto the Kekkei Genkai. So, yeah. Let's get into this lit What If. So, basically, we start out, and Naruto is running through the village. And the reason why he's running is, of course, he's being chased down by a bunch of villagers, and they're carrying, brooms and mops and things like that, and different things, rocks and stuff. And they're throwing rocks at Naruto, and he's trying to run. And unfortunately, it's actually raining at the time, so Naruto slips, and he falls right on his face, and sort of slides on the ground in a way, because the ground is slippery. And the villagers end up catching up to him. And when they do this, obviously they start to surround him, and they start beating him down and all of that, and doing major damage, because Naruto's 4 at the time. And then, all of a sudden, a bunch of Anbu Black Ops come, and they save Naruto from the villagers, and they, try and, they just surround Naruto so the villagers can't get to them. And the reason why the Anbu Black Ops is here is because Hiruzen Sarutobi, the third Hokage, actually ordered 6 Black Ops members to pretty much follow Naruto at all times, because in this one, the hatred that they have for Naruto is a lot worse than it was in the actual continuity. And we'll say the reason why it's a lot worse is because the Nine Tails actually destroyed a lot more of the village. Now we'll say that the Nine Tails completely destroyed the village, and the Hidden Leaf village had to basically we'll say that they had to relocate to a completely different place. And they relocated to the place that they are in the original continuity, and they had to rebuild from there. So, and a lot more people died in the Nine Tails attack as well. Now, Minato, he did seal the Nine Tails within Naruto, but instead of sending, sealing the bad half in Naruto, like in the original continuity, he sealed the half that he had when he was reanimated during the war. So Naruto has the good half, so Kurama is actually going to be a lot more, I guess you could say he's going to be a lot more cooperative. So, yeah. Now, basically, the Anbu save Naruto, and they take Naruto to the third Hokage, and as soon as Sarutobi sees Naruto, he instantly rushes to him and takes Naruto from the Anbu and immediately takes him to a hospital to get healed. So they're healing him and whatnot, and they're not exactly sure, the doctors aren't exactly sure if they'll be able to completely heal Naruto, but of course Naruto will be fine because Kurama is also going to be healing him at the same time. Basically, Kurama pretty much started healing him as soon as the beating began, so it wasn't as critical as the doctors, the medical, ninjutsu, it wasn't as critical as the doctors thought. So, yeah. Now, Naruto is in his mindscape, and he's walking around in this dark place, and there's water all over the floor. It kind of looks like a sewer. He really doesn't know where he's going. Then he kind of feels a presence, and he starts to go towards the presence, and he goes downstairs and through hallways and whatnot until he comes to this big cage, and inside the cage he can see there's a gigantic fox with red eyes and a black slit. He comes up and he's kind of afraid, but also he wonders why the fox is locked up. And then Naruto says, excuse me, who are you? And where am I? And then Kurama looks at him, and he's like, oh, hey kid, you're in your mindscape, and I am the nine-tailed fox. And then instantly Naruto starts to get a lot more fear in his heart, because he's heard about what the, Nine Tails did to the other Hidden Leaf village. And he's like, Nine Tails? He's like, what are you doing in my mindscape? And then Kurama says, I'm sealed inside of you, Naruto. And then Naruto instantly realizes why all the villagers hate him. And he's like, oh, so you're the reason why they all hate me. And then Kurama says, yes, Naruto, I apologize, but yes, I am the reason why they hate you. And then Naruto, he starts to get a little more calm because he can kind of see that Kurama's not really meaning him any harm at the moment. So he's like, oh, it's okay. What's your name? And then as soon as Kurama hears this, he's surprised because he's like, he just thinks in his mind, it's been a very long time since a human has asked me what my name was. And then he smiles inwardly and he says to Naruto, my name is Kurama. And then Naruto's like, oh, hi Kurama, my name's Naruto, but hi, I guess you already knew that. And then Kurama chuckles and he's like, yes, I did. I've been with you basically since you've been born. And then Naruto's like, right, yeah. And then Naruto, he wants to ask Kurama something, but he's a bit afraid that Kurama's gonna get angry at him. And Kurama can sense this. And he's like, what is it, Naruto? What do you wish to ask? And then Naruto says, Kurama, why did you attack the other Hidden Leaf village? And then Kurama's like, I see. That's what you want to know. Well, I really didn't do it on my own accord. You see, there was a man in a mask. He possessed a very powerful dojutsu, the Sharingan. The Sharingan is actually capable of controlling tailed beasts, along with another very ancient dojutsu. And the man used his Sharingan to control me. And, well, he told me to attack the Hidden Leaf village, and I really had no choice. I tried to break out of his control, but his prowess with the Sharingan was too great, and I couldn't. So I did as ordered, and I attacked the Hidden Leaf village. And then, the man in the mask with the Sharingan was defeated by someone. And I was able to break out of his control after he was defeated. But I still had anger and hatred in my heart for the Hidden Leaf village for keeping me locked up the entire time, all of those years. That rage and hatred manifested and consumed me. And instead of walking away, I continued with the attack, even though I wasn't under the man's control anymore. And then someone stopped me. I had a fight with the 4th Hokage and his wife. And then the 4th Hokage took my chakra and he split it in two, sealed half of it inside of himself and half of it inside of you. And then after that, him and his wife died. And then Naruto's just like, what? Why would the 4th Hokage seal the 9 tails? Why would the 4th Hokage seal you inside of me? And then Kurama says, because he believed in you, Naruto. He thought that you would be able to master my power one day. He sealed me inside of you to give you a means to combat the man in the mask. And then Naruto's just like, but why would the 4th Hokage care about me? Why would he want to give me the means? why wouldn't he give it to, like, I don't know, if he had a kid or something? Or someone who had already had experience in fighting. And then Kurama looks at him intently and he says, Naruto, he did seal inside of his child. And then Naruto looks at him and he's like, what? And then Kurama says, Naruto, you are the son of the 4th Hokage and his wife. You are the son of Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki. You are not Naruto Uzumaki. You are Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. And then, as soon as Naruto hears this, his eyes just widen in shock. And he's like, the 4th Hokage is my father? And then Kurama says, yes, he is. And I'm sorry to say that he ended up dying. And your mother ended up dying because of me. I'm sorry, Naruto. And then Naruto says, it's okay, Kurama. I know you were angry. It's okay. But I just can't believe that the 4th Hokage is my father. And then Naruto starts to really understand and realize that he has quite the legacy to uphold. I mean, his father was the 4th Hokage. He's like, alright, well, from this day forward, I vow I'm not gonna goof off anymore. I'm gonna train, and I'm gonna become just as powerful as my father. No, I'm gonna become more powerful than my father. I'm gonna make sure everyone in this village respects me. And then I'm gonna become the Hokage. And Kurama can see the resolve in Naruto. And he's like, Naruto, would you like me to train you? And then Naruto looks at him. He thinks about it for a moment. And then he thinks about it. And he shakes his head. No. And he says, no, Kurama. I want to gain this strength on my own. And then Kurama says, I understand. But what about my power? And then Naruto thinks about it and he says, well, I'm not exactly sure you trust me enough to actually allow me to use your power. But when the time comes that you do trust me, I will train myself on how to use it. I just ask one thing of you. And then Kurama says, what is it, Naruto? And then Naruto says, I would like you to train me. I mean, oh god, not train me, no. I would like you to educate me. I want to become smart. I don't want to be just all power. I want to have brains as well. I want to be able to come up with strategies quickly and things like that. Because I know that it'll help me in my pursuit to become the Hokage and stronger than my father. And then Kurama nods his head and he's like, alright, Naruto, that I will do. But I will leave the training to you. And yeah, so after that, Naruto starts training day in and day out. After this day, after, he finishes, getting healed and whatnot, and he leaves the hospital, Naruto secludes himself for many years. So, I'll say he starts the academy at the age of 8. And he was getting beaten by the villagers at the age of 4. So, he secludes himself from the villagers for 4 years. And for those 4 years, he trains to the brink of death. And only when he is at death's door does Kurama start to heal him, so Naruto can get much more powerful and stronger. So he trains in ninjutsu, genjutsu, and taijutsu, especially taijutsu. And yeah, in this, Naruto is actually going to be pretty much a master at taijutsu. He's going to really specialize in taijutsu. He's going to be using ninjutsu and genjutsu, but he's pretty much going to be an absolute powerhouse in taijutsu. Naruto is going to develop the use of chakra of how Tsunade used it, when she condenses it into her fist and whatnot to make her punches stronger and things like that. He's also going to start to learn how to do that. Now, Naruto's chakra natures that he has the wind chakra nature, the water chakra nature, and the lightning chakra nature. So he has 3 chakra natures currently. Later in the series, he will unlock, the rest. But for now, he only has these 3. So, yeah, Naruto's been training his body and his mind. And, since Naruto knows who his father is and whatnot, he knows and finds out that his father's, most famous jutsus that he used was the Rasengan and the Flying Raijin. So Naruto actually learns these jutsu as well. And yeah, he's not gonna really break it out yet, or use it on anybody in the academy, really. But, he does know how to do it pretty easily. And he also knows how to do a bit of an advanced version of the Rasengan, where he adds a little bit of wind chakra to it, the wind chakra nature, and he's actually, when he does this, instead of creating the wind style Rasen Shuriken, he's able to throw the Rasengan. And yeah, so that's basically how that's gonna work. So basically, after those 4 years, it's basically time for Naruto to start at the academy. So Naruto finally, comes out of his training spot for the first time in 4 years. And the way Naruto's been eating, he hasn't been going to Ichiraku Ramen or anything like that. He's just been hunting like small animals and stuff where he's been training and whatnot. And he's been sleeping outside to really harden his body and whatnot, and his resolve as well. So, yeah. So, Naruto, he looks a bit different than he did in the original continuity at this point in the story. He's actually a lot muscular. He's basically, I guess you could compare his muscularness, I guess you could call it, to Izuku. Basically after he finished training at Dagobah Beach. Basically, just multiply that by like 5. Multiply that by 5. That's how muscular Naruto is now. And Naruto's personality is, he's kind of sort of reserved in a way, but also not like Sasuke. He's not like a freaking edgy emo, he's not an emo edgelord or anything like that. But he is reserved. But when it comes to battle, that's when he really lets loose and just becomes an absolute beast. But yeah. Now, the thing Naruto is wearing, he is basically wearing a black shirt that has like white buttons and a white outline around the collar. And he is wearing basically Goku's pants, but they're just black. So basically black and white is the color scheme he has going on. And his hair is actually a lot longer as well. But he ties it up in a sort of man bun. He ties it up like Shikamaru ties his hair up. And when it's not tied up, it's really spiky, and he kind of starts to look like a freaking lion with his mane. So, yeah. So, he's walking through the village, and people are looking at him, and they're actually not really glaring at him. They're kind of just shocked and confused, because it's been 4 years since they've seen Naruto, and some people actually started to believe that he ran away or died or something like that, or had been imprisoned or something. So they're actually kind of surprised to see him just walking casually through the village. So he walks to the academy, he walks in, signs up, all of that stuff, and he takes a seat right next to Sasuke Uchiha. Now, Naruto does know who this is, because while Naruto was secluding himself from the village and the villagers and whatnot, he actually was still roaming around. Like, he was still, there. They just really never saw him. Because once Naruto got his stealth skills up to the level of where he thought he would be able to avoid everybody in the village, including the Hokage, he started roaming around the village, and he started gathering information, actually, about the village and whatnot. He actually started sneaking into the secret meetings, the council meetings and whatnot that the third Hokage would have, and he's actually learned a lot about the Leaf Village, including the dark secrets of the Leaf Village as well, like things like Itachi being, a spy, and Danzo ordering him to massacre the Uchiha clan and whatnot. So he's also learned secrets like that. So, yeah, he's just keeping those in his back pocket, just in case he ever has to utilize them. So, Naruto sits down right next to Sasuke, and then Sakura and Ino, they come in, and once they see Naruto next to Sasuke Uchiha, they kind of get pretty angry, because they're like, well, I wanted to sit next to Sasuke, So, excuse me. So, they walk up to Naruto, and Sakura's just like, alright, listen, I don't know who you are, but you should probably move it. And then, Naruto just kind of ignores her. And then Ino says, I never really agree on anything with that pink banshee, but I actually agree with her this time. And then Sakura's just like, I'm actually gonna let that slide. Now, move it, kid. And then Naruto looks at Ino, and he's like, yeah, I agree, she's a pink banshee, isn't she? And then Ino, she kind of cracks a smile there. And then Sakura, she gets pretty mad, and she's like, what did you say, you jerk? And then she starts to pull back her fist and sends a punch at Naruto. Naruto, he just sits there and doesn't do anything. And when the punch connects, Naruto doesn't even feel it. It doesn't even affect him. And he just keeps staring straight like nothing even happened. And then when Sakura, sees that her punch didn't faze Naruto at all, she kind of steps back a little bit and she's like, what the heck? And then Naruto looks at her and he's like, why did you have your arm extended like that? And he's just acting like he didn't even know that Sakura punched him. And then at this point, she's pretty much cracking up over there. And then Sakura, she's just really annoyed, and she knows it's not really gonna hurt, but she does it anyway, so she goes up to Naruto and she just keeps punching him over and over again. And Naruto just turns back around and just acts like nothing's happening. And then after a few minutes of Sakura continuously punching him, he actually gets pretty annoyed. So when Sakura tries to send her next punch at Naruto, Naruto moves his arm up and catches her fist with just one finger. And Sakura didn't even see Naruto's arm move. It looked like it just appeared there. And Sasuke had been watching this, and he was extremely surprised that he wasn't able to track Naruto's movement. And then Naruto looks at Sakura, and he starts to emit his bloodlust a little bit. And he's like, your punches don't affect me, but they are getting very annoying. You are like a little fly, and I don't think you want me to swat you away. So I suggest you stop. And then Naruto stops emitting his bloodlust and turns back around to the board and stares blankly at the board. And then everybody in the room actually felt Naruto's bloodlust, so they're actually already kind of afraid of Naruto. So Sakura, she staggers back a little bit and she's just like, what was that? And then Sasuke is actually starting to find Naruto very interesting. And then Iruka comes into the room and he's like, alright, everybody sit down. I am Iruka Sensei, and I'm actually going to be your teacher for all of your time here at the Ninja Academy until you guys become ninja. So, they all sit down, and Iruka explains everything that they're going to be learning this year and whatnot. And then he's like, alright, well, I think to get a good grasp of, how all of you are, how powerful all of you are, or, what your strengths are and your weaknesses, how about we all have a one-on-one? So let's go outside. So they all go outside, and the very first fight, Iruka calls these names: Uchiha Sasuke versus Uzumaki Naruto. And then Sasuke walks up to the, field where they're gonna be fighting, and then Naruto does the same. And then, so basically, Iruka's like, alright, you two, do the union sign. And then he shows them what the union sign is. So they do the union sign, and then they immediately step back from each other, and Sasuke gets into a fighting position. Now, Naruto... this is actually going to kind of be funny. So Naruto actually pulls a Kakashi, and he takes out a book that was in his pocket, and he starts reading it. And Iruka says, Naruto, you're supposed to be fighting Sasuke. And then Naruto says, I'm waiting for him. And then Iruka says, Naruto, put the book away. And then Naruto says, I don't need to. And then Sasuke, he gets pretty angered by this, and he's like, are you really underestimating me that much? Do you know who I am? I am an Uchiha. And then he runs forward with a kick, and he tries to kick Naruto in the face, but Naruto easily just dodges it, and he's not even trying. He's just reading his book. And then Sasuke, he's just surprised. He's like, what the hell? And then everybody is pretty shocked, and Iruka is very impressed that Naruto is reading a book but still able to dodge Sasuke with relative ease, it looks like. And then Sasuke gets really mad, so he just goes at Naruto And he just starts sending barrages of punches and kicks and knees and stuff to Naruto. And Naruto's just dodging every single one. And Naruto hasn't even looked up from his book. And Sasuke is really, really mad. So he's like, fine, you forced my hand. And then he weaves some hand signs, and then he says, fire style, fireball jutsu. And he shoots the fireball jutsu at Naruto. Now, everybody is extremely impressed with Sasuke, because at his age, he already knows how to do a ninjutsu attack. And Iruka, he's like, oh crap, I'm gonna have to get involved, because he doesn't think that Naruto will be able to dodge this or do anything about it. But Naruto, not even, looking up from his book, just casually condenses chakra into his fist and punches the fireball, and it dissipates instantly. And then Iruka, he's just like, what the hell? How did this kid, he's only 8 years old, how was he able to do that? And Iruka knows that the fireball jutsu that Sasuke used was not weak. Like, for an 8-year-old, it was still it was powerful for an 8-year-old. So he's like, how did Naruto stop that? And he doesn't know that Naruto condensed the chakra into his fist. But all he knows was that Naruto just punched the fireball jutsu and it dissipated instantly. So everybody's very surprised by this, and Sasuke is just dumbfounded, and his jaws just drop down to the floor, and he's like, he just punched my fireball jutsu and just dissipated it, but how? And then Naruto takes out a kunai and casually blitzes Sasuke, and he's already behind Sasuke, and he has the kunai to the front of Sasuke's neck. So his arm is around Sasuke, and he has the kunai to Sasuke's neck, and he's like, well, I think I won. You should probably give up now, because if it was a real battle, I would have killed you. And then Iruka says, the battle is over. Uzumaki Naruto wins. And then the bell rings, and Naruto finally looks up from his book and puts it away, and he's like, oh, would you look at that? It's time to leave already. Alright, well, see you all. And then he starts to walk away. And then Sasuke is just like, wait, how are you so powerful? And then Naruto looks back and he says, Uchiha Sasuke. And he says that as if he's just noticing Sasuke for the first time. And he's like, you have the same goal as I, to become stronger. But the end results for my goal and your goal are different. I want to become Hokage. And you want revenge. Understandable. I would want revenge too. But you don't know the full story, Uchiha Sasuke. In time, I guess you will know. Maybe. But, unfortunately, I don't really think I'm the person. I really don't think it's my place to tell you. And then Sasuke is just like, the full story? What is he talking about? And then Naruto says, but I have a suggestion for you. Instead of having the hatred consume you and trying to get powerful off of it, don't let that hatred consume you. It'll take you down a dark path. A dark path I am pretty sure you don't want to walk down. So instead of being consumed by the hatred, take that hatred and turn it into power. And then he walks away. And that's actually where I'm gonna leave off this part. So yeah, I think I might be able to get a second part out. I'm not sure how many videos I'm gonna make. I'm gonna try to make more than just this one, obviously, but I'm not, completely sure, but we will see. So yeah, that was part 1 of what if the Namikaze clan actually had a Kekkei Genkai. Now, I'm not gonna explain what their Kekkei Genkai is yet. Naruto obviously didn't get it in the first part. I'm not sure what part he'll get it in exactly, but yeah, I already know how it's gonna work and whatnot. And I already know how the lore for the Namikaze clan is gonna be, how I'm gonna make it in this what if. So yeah, if you liked this video, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching the full video all the way through. And if you liked it, smash the like button. United States, or smash that subscribe button if, you're not subscribed already. It's pretty easy. And it's okay because it's free, and if you don't really like the videos that I be posting, or you don't really think the channel is something you would want to watch and whatnot, then you can just unsubscribe later. But yeah, so if you like the video, like. If you're new, sub, and don't forget to hit the notifications, press all, so you'll know whenever I drop a new lit what if. But yeah, you already know who it is. This is What If King, signing off.